place it's a tourist center and it's a different one because I don't know, it's just mind blowing being here, seeing the history, seeing the tradition. You know this place is ancestral because there are so many things that are just so cool about this place. So I would advise anyone, everyone, young, old, to be here.
So I traveled all the way from Lagos to Ekiti, about 7 hour journey. On the second day after I got to Ekiti, I headed straight for Ikogosi Warm Spring.
Within our premises here, we have two types of cold water, which mix together to form this one at this point here. Up there, we also have two types of warm water, which mix together to form this warm water. Which means we still have two other meeting points, apart from the warm and cold meeting points. We have warm and warm meeting points. We have cold and cold meeting points. At the cold and cold meeting points, one of the water is colder than the other. So in actual sense of it, it is cold and colder. And that is by that corner. Then the warmer water, you have warm and warmer water up there. This is another meeting point of the two. And that's the two of them form the cold water down there. Cold and cold.
Slightly cold.
Really, extremely cold and cold. This is also cold.
It's much more
Kasi
cold.
water is about 2 miles to this meeting point. Omi oko ni. Koruba mu ni nkan ni igberu le ri kedede. Water we have here is representing the two wives of the man that transformed to warm water. So
In Ikogosi, it is not only the warm spring that has been there for ancient years. There are also these big trees that were used to offer sacrifices to the gods of the springs long ago.
Then we in Ikogosi town call it Porogun Eti Odo or Peregun Eti Odo. They've been here, the big trees have been here close to 200 years or more than 200 years. It symbolizes the period when my forefathers used to do some sort of sacrifice to appease the god of the warm water and that of the cold water. 200-year-old trees in Ikogosi.
There's actually more to Ikogosi Warm Spring than just being two warm springs and two cold springs meeting together. It is believed that it is actually 4 human beings that transformed into water. The first of the warm spring, being the larger source, was the first person that migrated from Ile-Ife to Ikogosi, and the warm spring with the smaller source being his first son that became the first king of Ikogosi. The two cold springs are his wives, and both of them also have a story as to the complexion and degree of the coldness of their cold spring. Let's get the full gist from the tour guide.
Of the man that transformed to the warmer water. The name of the man that transformed to the warmer water was called Awo Bere Ige. And the name of the son who transformed to that water of fortune was called Oloso. The two women, the two wives who transformed to cold water, they were called Awele. Awele was the one with darker water. The other one was called Ikogosi, the one with bright background. Awele was extremely gentle, easygoing woman. When she was turning to water, she turned to water that was extremely cold, according to her nature. She was dark in complexion, the background of the water was dark. Ikogosi was fair in complexion, but she was in between in character. She was neither gentle nor hot tempered. She transformed to water that is cold. They're not ice cold. The background is clear, according to her, just like her complexion. The man who transformed to the warmer water used to be a traditional healer. Babalawo Agbomola ni o. He was somebody that used to treat people physically and spiritually, maybe medically and spiritually during his own time. He want to treat people that have sicknesses. He will take them to the top of the rock where we are going now. Never before the existence of any development here. The man will invoke this warm water out of the rock. He will invoke the warm water with incantations. After using the water for his patients, you will see another incantation that will make the water to go back into the rock. When he became old, he couldn't die naturally. He had to go back to the top of the rock. He entered into the rock and transformed to warmer water. For his wives to bring him back to life, they started running up and down at the front of the water. So each of the steps they took, warm water continued to come out. And when they shouted his name, the water started making noise. That was part of the quality of the man. He was a no-nonsense man. He was fair in complexion. He was somebody that will never take any nonsense. That's why you have the warm water being very warm like that. That's why you have it with that type of background. The first son, after the father and the two wives had gone to water, the first son made himself the first king among his siblings. He became the first king of our town. The siblings now asked him, now that you are establishing a town, what should we call the name of the town? He said, in our own language, Ikogosi. The book of Ikogosi, that is the town at the extreme left of Yoruba land, to the west. And that's the real name of Ikogosi. So, when he wanted to die as a king, he was also a traditional healer. When he also wanted to die, he entered into a rock. This is in the forest there. And his water now joined out of his body to form the warm water at large. So the two cold water from the two wives of the father, the two warm water from the father and the son, are those water we found at the meeting point of cold and warm, which happens to be the overall meeting point. You are welcome to Ikogosi.
I wanted to get a real feeling of how it felt for cold and warm water to meet, so I decided to walk from the warm water section and straight into the cold water section. The feeling was wonderful. You also see that, because at this point I begin to feel like right now the back of my leg is warm and my toes are cold. So you come in here and everything is so warm. Let me say so cold rather. This is just beautiful. This is really, really beautiful.
Okay, my name is Susan Joseph Oluwatimileyin.
Where are you from?
I'm an indigene of Ekiti State, but then I live in Benin City, Edo State.
Okay. This is your first time at Ikogosi Warm Spring?
No, this is my second time actually. I was here in 2015 and I'm here now.
Wow. So why did you come again?
Well, my friends actually wanted to see this place for the first time and it's always amazing being here.
Okay. So can you tell me one or two things about the warm spring that you've noticed? One or two things about the warm spring that is noticed, that is peculiar to Ikogosi?
Jesus, everything here is spectacular because it's just a wonder. It's unexplainable, although they have history and the story behind it. But then I just believe it's one of the 7 wonders of the world because it's just amazing seeing a very warm spring and cold spring coming together yet not mixing. It's just amazing. actually.
Would you advise people to visit here?
Yeah, sure. This place is it's a tourist center and it's a different one because I don't know, it's just mind blowing being here, seeing the history, seeing the tradition. You know this place is ancestral because there are so many things that are just so cool about this place.